Hang on, here we go.
Looking to take your fitness skills and health to the next level? You're in the right place. Welcome to the Building Ambition Podcast with your host, nutrition coach, and powerlifter turned personal trainer who is 130 pounds lighter, Adam Hicks. And your co-host on the path to losing 160 pounds, Alan Zimmerman. Get ready to be inspired.
There you go, buddy. We are live. Everything sounding okay on your end?
Wow, I love that introduction every time.
Isn't that nice? And it doesn't sound like he's eating a mouthful of bread as compared to the last guy that we had. So
exactly.
Yeah. Well, hey, the reason we're doing this, I don't know if we've got anybody tuning in yet. I just posted it up on Facebook, so I know this is kind of last second, and that's okay because if they miss it, they can go back later and watch the replay, so that's fine. But I came down to the office/man cave just to check my stats and kind of stroke my ego a little bit. We released episode 21 last night with Nicole DeMattis. Have you had a chance to listen to that one yet?
I started to listen to it today, but for whatever reason, my internet connection wasn't doing very well, and it kept cutting out.
Okay.
And so I have not completed it.
Okay, well, I started it out, and I did the intro by myself, which I hate doing, and because I just do so much better when you're here. I mean, even if you're over the camera like this, it's just so much easier for me to talk. And I'm not kidding you. I probably recorded that intro 23 times last night. Not that I was keeping track. Yeah. But I wanted to say, a little something because the episode prior to that, we had talked about, when you had gone to the doctor and you had some heart palpitations and whatever going on. And you let everybody know you had the doctor's appointment coming up last week. What was it, on the 18th?
Yep.
And I had talked to my mother-in-law, your wife, just prior to recording the intro, but I didn't want to speak for you. I didn't know how much you wanted to give away. So
Right.
anyways, I put it out there that you had your appointment and I knew there was going to be some more testing. So I came down here checking my stats and I had 3 messages from people that wanted to know. And all I said, I left it at, keep him in your thoughts. Maybe send some prayers his way. We're hoping that everything's going to turn out the best way that it can, whatever that means. But I had 3 messages, people wanting to know what's going on with you. Is everything okay? Maybe I made it sound like it was worse than it is. I don't know. You'll have to listen to it and let me know. So that's where we're at. Then I shot you a message and said, hey, this is what's going on. Do you want to talk about it? We have this capability now. And you were interested, so here we are.
Yeah, pretty awesome. I mean, I'm really digging this Skype thing, you know, and being able to do this over the internet like this. So yeah, this works out really well, and it saves me a trip down to the Studio 1A to make the live stream. I can do it right here from the comfort of my kitchen.
Yeah.
Bottom line, no, getting to the question, did go to the doctor, and more than likely it's good information. They did an ultrasound on my heart. With that information, they found out I have a strong heart, so it's not going to be any kind of problem if they need to do anything with it. They didn't see any obstructions. The EKG they did right there in the office showed some rhythmic issues apparently. However, the ultrasound didn't show anything. It was just looking for the strength of my heart, which was fine. And so now we plan on having a heart catheterization on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, I'm looking at a few hours in the morning. Hopefully they won't find anything. But if they do find a blockage in the artery of 70% or greater, they're going to put in a stent. And after that, then I'll just be on some particular medication for a while. If they don't find a blockage, then I'm going to have to go on a 30-day monitor to see. It's like, I guess you could look at your heart and your body as like a house. If your heart's the plumbing, the arteries and the veins are the plumbing to the house, then you also have the electrical side of the house,
right?
The brain and sending the electrical impulses for the beating and that type of thing. And so we need to find out whether what they're going to check out first with the heart catheterization is if there's any blockage in the plumbing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the case, they'll fix it. If there's no blockage in the plumbing, then they're going to go to the electrical system, which would be reading the 30 days and see what that information kicks back.
And at that point, then, is it just some medication and get you straightened out and everything?
Hey, you know what? I don't know. There's all kinds of stuff they can do.
It didn't sound like when I spoke to your wife that you guys were super impressed with the nurse practitioner that you went to see. Is that a fair assessment?
You know what? Though, no, I don't think it was necessarily the nurse practitioner. I think it's just the doctoring and the way they doctored people in general, because
The healthcare system overall.
the healthcare system overall, because
Gotcha.
the assumption that they made is the fact that my mother and dad both smoked for their entire lives, basically. And so with them having heart problems in their later years from 40s on,
Mm-hmm.
that says to them, oh, you have chronic heart disease. So naturally, since I'm their offspring who never smoked
Mm-hmm.
and haven't used tobacco products in over probably 4 years, and those type of things, I've got chronic heart disease, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just don't drink that Kool-Aid. I don't buy, they're talking about the cholesterol medicine already. Well, cholesterol medicine, there's studies that go both directions. Cholesterol has not pointed to an actual problem with the heart in some studies. Other
Mm-hmm.
studies say high cholesterol does point to heart problems. Okay. But some folks eat better diets than I do and have high cholesterol.
Yeah.
Some people eat worse diets than I do and have high cholesterol.
Well,
Or some people eat worse diets than I do and have no cholesterol.
and it's interesting, and I guess maybe a lot of it is genetic. So I guess I understand maybe them, but if you don't have the symptoms to go along with the genetic predisposition, then it sounds like kind of maybe lazy detective work. If we were talking to Coach Rich or something like that, you know. But you remember a couple weeks ago when I was talking about a gentleman that had passed away, and we all thought he was a fellow podcaster, bodybuilder, and we all thought that it was suicide. Turns out it was a heart attack at the age of 26, and I'm only bringing this up because you were talking about how there's people with diets better than yours
Mm-hmm.
that have blockage, and I mean he was on a pretty strict contest prep diet. Now maybe there was, what do I want to say, extracurricular supplementation going on there too. It could have been, but still,
Yeah.
if the diet was locked up, I mean, you still got to do a little bit of detective work, like Coach Rich might say, looking at those labs and stuff like that. So, yeah, I can see how that would be frustrating for you.
I mean, part of it could be, and I don't know if they can check this with an ultrasound and see if it's congestive, which would be water around the heart or that type of thing.
Yeah,
You see what I mean?
yeah,
If they can see that on an ultrasound or not. It could be something I am retaining fluid and I do have congestive heart condition,
Mhm.
Whatever, hopefully we'll find out what it is, but won't be finding out until Wednesday,
okay,
at
so,
least part of the thing. And you know what? I told him, I said, I don't want a stent.
yeah. I know
And
you had said that earlier. You weren't into that.
I'm not into wanting to getting a stent. I'm not into taking cholesterol medicines. And I've taken cholesterol medicine back when my cholesterol was, uh, I think it was a little higher, or, when I say I have high cholesterol, I'm only 10 points over the high
Mhm.
norm. Okay, so if the high norm is 200, I'm 210.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like that's controllable. That may just be where my cholesterol is going to stay, and that's the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
You know.
And I heard that the day that you went to the doctor, your blood pressure was probably the best it's been in quite a while.
Yeah, yeah.
Figure that one out.
Well, and uh, I'm not a big medicine taker.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't buy it. And the first time I did take the cholesterol medicine, it was uh, made my I lost muscles
Mm-hmm.
and got weak. And I thought, man, oh man, if this is helping me, I don't need help. I
Not
need
much,
something
yeah,
else.
not much of a quality of life there, the
Well,
way
yeah,
that
I mean,
sounds.
when you're so weak, you can't do anything. And I mean, I actually lost bicep size. And these guns
We
here,
can't have that because I heard somebody's on his way home with those puny ass biceps. So we can't be losing any muscle mass there.
that's right. So
So
yeah. So anyway, like I say, I don't subscribe to the doom and gloom of whatever. And honestly, this past week, I haven't had any palpitations.
hmm
And so maybe the folks that you said, hey, lift some prayer up or some thoughts, some good thoughts, maybe that all worked and I'm cured. I don't
hey,
know.
we'll take it.
I will. I'll
Yeah,
take it every day.
yeah. So aside from that, I mean, we didn't have you on the show this week. I know you were at a wedding. You went out to saw a good
Great
friend of
time.
yours and had a
Yep.
good time.
Great time at a wedding. Good friend of mine. Got to see him and his wife. His daughter got married this weekend, and great, great family. Shout out to Tim Price and
Yeah, he's a listener, isn't he? I think I saw he'd commented on an episode. So
yep, and his brother Tony and mother and dad Ed and Martha. There's a shout out to all the Price family and their wives Susie and Marty, and daughter who got married Brooke and Ryan. Congratulations, good luck to you guys going forward. I hope you get 36 in like my wife and I have right now, and you got a ways to go. Get past those first couple.
yeah, those are rough.
Those are the working
Yeah,
years, I think.
yeah. So while you were gone, how did things hold up as far as the diet and everything like that went?
You know what? I'm not really upset with that either. I rolled out of here on Thursday at 2:51, and I rolled in this morning at 2:58. So I thought, after a long weekend of debauchery with beverages and food, that
Yeah,
trying to make some good choices, I only put on 7 pounds, and I think a lot of that'll come back off because, like I say, when you don't control what you eat from the restaurant, so to speak, I think there's a lot of seasonings,
yeah, and you probably
salt especially.
had a lot of fluid retention stuff like that.
Right.
So all right, man, very good. Anything else you want to update everybody on? I think we're coming up on about 15 minutes here. So any anything else? Anything you need to inform us on, or
I don't know. School's getting ready to start again.
you seem excited?
I am. I've got 19 students going to roll in this year. I'm looking forward to that. Getting back to work. It's a long summer when you don't have to work every day.
I'm sure it is.
It takes a long time to get through, and I know everybody likes to work all summer long, and
Yeah.
it's really tough having this burden that I have to take that time off.
Yeah.
Not too much.
I know I would much rather be at work than going fishing or doing something like that.
Backpacking, trail hiking, doing
Yeah.
things like that through the day just to occupy your time.
Yeah, and I just spoke to a guy who he met up with a gentleman. I mean, this is a horrible story because I can't remember any of the names, but they went out on the AT and he met up with this guy in Pennsylvania, and they ended up doing about 70 miles, I think. So,
Wow.
but yeah, he was talking about showing me some pictures of that. So, and I was talking about you and how you've been talking about it, and I think by next summer when you're 170 shredded pounds, you'll be ready to go. So.
I will be ready to go. I was thinking about the reason I'm excited about getting back to work is that starts getting me again my schedule gets better,
Yeah.
and I'm more engaged, involved. I have daily things. Right now it's easy to get up. Oh, the weather looks bad. I'm not going to go do this.
Yeah.
But I go to work every day, rain or shine. So
Yep. Yeah.
I do like that.
And I've felt the same thing. I mean, the shift that I work, it makes it rough on the family and everything. But on the same hand, like you said, I got that schedule. I know what it's going to be, and it just works for me. I get in that routine. I'm excited. I've been working on a new 12-week program for my training, and hoping that once you're given the go-ahead that you can jump in there with me and we can get you back in the gym and everything like that. So, but yeah.
That's the other thing I'm getting excited about, because then you and I will get the opportunity to work a couple days a week together again,
Mm-hmm.
and of course we can discuss what we do here on the podcast and bounce ideas off of one another.
And you know what I think is going to be great is now that we do have this technology and it's something that we can do from our phones, when we're in the midst of a urban hike or whatever it may be, we can, broadcast something and put it out, because we have been getting a little bit of a response. I have not been pushing the live stream that much, but each time we've done it, we've had a couple people tuning in live while we're doing it, and then the response afterwards is what's really encouraging to me. And then each week, the podcast has been growing, and we're coming up on 2,000 fans, or whatever I guess you want to call them. So it's all,
wow, that's awesome.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
all
I also
exciting.
want to show. I'm sorry to interrupt, but that's
No,
what
why
we do.
worry about it?
That's what we do. But I do still want to do another shout out to Jordan, Madeline, and Christian, and thanks for checking on me and asking about me. Appreciate that. I really do.
I thought that was pretty cool, and that's why, I wasn't planning on doing anything tonight, and you log in and you see that, and then it makes it a little bit, what do I want to say, more, a little bit real,
It's personal.
Yeah, personal, that's a good way to put it.
It's not just something that, folks are actually concerned.
Mm-hmm.
And I really appreciate that. So thank you for doing that, and thanks for listening, and those type of things.
Yeah,
so.
we're not going to stop. So, and I want to let everybody know, and you included, and hopefully we can get this worked out to where you can be here for this interview. This week, we are going to be live streaming probably on Saturday, and the podcast will go up on Sunday like normal. But our special guest, her name is Andrea Hansen, and she is a personal trainer and a life coach, and she's lost a buttload of weight
Wow.
while dealing with MS. So it's yeah, I think it's going to be. I'm just now starting. She's put out 3 or 4, maybe 5 books. I've just been talking to her via email, so I'm starting to dig into the research and everything like that. That's what it's been kind of hard, because we said, we're only going to do a guest maybe twice a month, and then I have people reach out to us, and they're interested in coming on, and you hate to tell somebody no, because everybody has such a unique and different story that I really think, you and I grow from, and everybody else that tunes in can grow from. So I hate to tell them no, but then it only gives us 6 days or sometimes 5 days or less to do a little bit of research so we can conduct a good interview. But yeah, I think it's going to be great. And, we always talk about people dealing with adversity or struggling, when they are trying to lose weight or whatever that goal may be. So for somebody to lose all this weight while dealing with MS, then it kind of makes my excuses seem obsolete, I think. So.
Well, I watched, when I'm not busy exercising or doing live podcasts and vlogs, I'm on Facebook.
Yeah.
and I was looking at, was it Usain Bolt?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Usain?
Yeah.
And they had a meme in there for him, and it said, the last 4 years he's been working out to do 10 seconds worth of exercise.
Yeah.
And underneath, and another guy's sick of 2 weeks workout in the gym and can't find his abs.
Yeah, so he gives up. Yep, I saw that tonight, actually. I saw another one that made me think of you, and this has nothing to do with the podcast, but a prepper built a fallout shelter for $11.5 million. So I tried to tag you in it, but I couldn't quite get it figured. I got these thumbs that look like sausages, so it didn't quite work out. But yeah,
yeah, that's a little overboard.
Little bit. But it also, if you're like, what's the guy's, Brandon Fraser, or if you're down there for 30 years, then you're gonna want something nice. But
well, that little deal would have been pretty sweet, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Have a setup like that.
Yeah. So.
Well, of course, the other thing I noticed on Facebook too was that Ian McClellan, who played Gandalf the Grey in Lord of the Rings,
Uh-huh.
turned down $1.5 million to do a wedding officiator. I thought, if I dressed up like a wizard, I would do a wedding for $1.5 million.
Let's be honest here. You would probably dress up like a wizard and do a wedding for much less than that.
Oh, you better believe it. But I mean, I'm not going to turn $1.5 million
For
down.
sure. I probably wouldn't turn, $15 down at this point. So
I could use $100. They say $100 is $100.
yeah. Well, we're kind of getting off topic here, but we did give everybody their update. So we'll go ahead and is there anything else that you wanted to? Anything else as far as your situation goes? Is that pretty much everybody up to date now?
I think that's pretty much my situation as far as this goes. Like I say, I'm not so concerned about it, honestly.
You really don't. I think everybody else around you is more concerned than you really are, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah, but like I said, if you feed those kind of feelings, that little bit of heart palpitation and that type of thing, all of a sudden you can wind up in a full-blown heart attack just from anxiety. It can become an anxiety attack and have the same symptoms and all those other things. So I don't really feed into that. And I guess I never have, because I'm going to live forever.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, you kind of, and I feel like I kind of have the same attitude where, 10 feet tall and bulletproof, you know what I mean?
There you go, Travis Tritt.
So, all right,
shout out to Travis.
Yeah, I know he tunes in. So, all right, man, I appreciate you coming on here. I just wanted to put that out there for everybody that was concerned about you. I thought that was great. Like you said, it makes it personal. People are tuning in. They're concerned about you. So I knew if you were down, that would have to, it lifted my spirits, and it's not even me that they're reaching out to.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, dude with the big arms, find out how Alan's doing for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'll tell you, as soon as I get done with that on Wednesday, we'll get together Saturday, and I'll give you an update then, just before the interview.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to ask you. Now, worst case scenario, like you said, if there is a 70% blockage or more, they're going to go ahead and do the stent that day.
Yes.
Is that correct? What is the recovery time on something like that?
Well, for me, the recovery, regardless, if they put the stent in, there's an overnight, and I'd probably be released the next morning early.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I would be released from the hospital on Thursday. If, regardless of the stent, just having that femoral artery hole poked in there, and they put some kind of plug and they tape it all up real good, there's zero lifting at all for, I'm thinking like a week is what they were telling me, and that's because of,
well, if that cuts open, you can't get to the hospital.
If it blows out, you couldn't dial 911 fast enough.
Yeah, it's game over at that point. So, not to make light of it, but
not funny.
No,
it's real. You know, it's like
that's it.
Now, I think I'm going to go try to get my deadlift record right after that.
Yeah, probably not.
Seriously, dead lift.
Very punny, very punny. So, okay, but now if they don't do the stent, then you're going to have a monitor for 30 days, and you'll be home. You'll be home that day. You'll be home on Wednesday.
Yep.
Okay.
In and out.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, that's it. That's the update. And then, like Alan said, as soon as we know more, once we get past Wednesday, we know what's going on, one way or another, whether he can get in here for the podcast or not. We can do something like this. We can just do another quick video, give everybody an update. You can be doing it laying in bed as long as you don't pop that femoral artery. So, don't want to ruin them sheets. But, yeah, that's it. So, all right, buddy. Well, just so you know, everybody's thinking about you. We're praying for you, and we're going to keep you in our thoughts. And I'm sure everything's going to be fine. We'll be back at it this weekend. So,
I appreciate it, Adam. Thanks. Thanks, everybody.
All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. And like I said, I guess it doesn't matter if I tell them that if they couldn't see this live to catch the replay. That doesn't make sense, does it? So,
no.
But as always, guys. This is only the third time we've done this. So, as always, guys, go to buildingambition.com. I'll post the video over there. You can catch up on all of our older episodes of the podcast and some of our older live streams and a few of the posts that I've put up. So And if you have any questions, concerns, or you just want to send some well wishes to Alan, buildingambition@gmail.com. So we'll see you guys this weekend.
Adios.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Building Ambition podcast with Adam Hicks and Alan Zimmerman. For more great content and to get even more inspired, visit www.buildingambition.com and on facebook.com/buildingambition. We'll catch you next time.